welcome to Pick Central, presented today by DraftKings. The thrill and excitement of March Mania is here in DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, in my opinion, the top, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. There's so many lines right now. There's lines tonight is the play-in games. There's the CBI. There's the CIT tonight and the NIT. I don't think the CBI starts yet, but there's like Providence Boston College is on tonight, and we're watching Howard versus Wagner.
Oh, we got 6 TVs.
Oh, we'll watch it, but I'm just saying that's
Kansas State, Iowa tonight too.
Really? That was a great game.
Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Baseball's back.
Yeah.
Padres, Dodgers.
Oh, well, real?
Real.
It's a real game?
Real game. 2 games, yeah. 2 games in South Korea. I got picks and everything tonight.
Wait, opening day is 6 a.m.
In South Korea.
And then when is the actual opening day?
Not this Thursday, the Thursday after. I know.
We'll get to that. That makes zero sense.
No, it is what it is.
North Carolina listeners, don't forget DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in your state. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PICKCENTRAL. The crown is yours. Shout out DraftKings. It seriously is the best app. Easy to use. We use it all the time, and we'll be streaming tonight betting with DraftKings. So shout out DraftKings. Always bet responsible. All right. Rico, how we feeling?
Good.
Clemmer, how we feeling?
Great.
March starts today. Are we allowed to say the word? I don't know if we're allowed to say the word. It's always like such a weird thing.
The tournament starts.
The March Mania starts today.
The tournament.
Do you guys get excited for these playing games?
No. I'm excited that like I have something meaningful to bet on.
It's usually background noise while you're still kind of doing research, or you're looking at Thursday, or you're like.
I don't know about background noise for myself. I have background noise? This is still a team like you.
I really don't.
Virginia,
the 16s, I definitely don't love the play-ins.
No,
the 10s.
The 10s are.
Yeah, the 10s and 11s, it's like, all right. And there's been a few years like Indiana, Wyoming, the Rutgers Notre Dame game that went bananas.
But I'm just saying that I think like Virginia, it's nice to see Virginia or Colorado State right now because I think they have potential to beat Texas. Texas is a team that you have no fucking idea what's going on. And also tomorrow, I think Colorado or Boise has a potential to beat. Who do they have?
Boise State, Colorado is a 10. It's on both sides of the bracket. They get Florida.
I think Florida's
defense is, yeah.
Florida's defense is bad. Florida, also a big thing. They're hurt. A big thing for me is where people fall in love with teams in conference tournament. They fall in love. Florida had a great conference tournament. They made it to the finals. Fantastic. And also some people like UConn, they're just really good. I actually think Auburn's just really good.
Yeah.
But I just think that Florida's a team, NC State's a team people are going to fall in love with because they saw so much of them to watch out. What's your feeling as a
So I have a question for you guys, and this might be a basic bitch question, but I have an issue with the fairness of it.
Fairness?
Yeah. So like the 16 seeds have play-ins, great. The 10 seeds have a play. That's not fair. So like if you're, you know what I mean? Like
so fair.
Why? Like those teams shouldn't it be like the 15s and the 16s have the play-ins as opposed to
I actually think that the 10s should have to. I don't think the 16s should have to play at all because they won their conference tournament.
They're automatic. It's like not fair.
Okay.
So I think the fairness is that Virginia shouldn't be in. That's where the fairness should be said because I don't know if you saw what Fanta put out yesterday or somebody of like what the committee said about St. John's. And what they said about Seton Hall. Did you see that?
No.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, they said it's Seton Hall's win against UConn shouldn't have really been counted because Klingon, one of their best players, was out in the second half.
Which makes zero sense, though.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
That's just, you play the team that's on the court. It's not their fault they got hurt. They're number one. They've lost 3 games all year. They're saying it doesn't really matter.
That's insane.
Virginia, listen, I'm an ACC guy, but it's crazy that Virginia got. There's 20 teams ahead of them in the net rankings that didn't make the tournament. 20. They didn't beat anybody. I think they didn't beat. Did they beat anybody in the tournament?
Yeah, they did. I mean, just Big East teams started attacking Dayton, so I've been trying to like go back at them. My only rebuttal for the Big East would be,
Well,
this is the biggest.
Get the name right. The Mid East. It's the Mid East.
No, I think the Big East is. I do
Is
think
that what
they're
they're calling it?
Yeah, it's the Mid
I think they're the best. I think they're the
3
second
teams?
best conference in college basketball. But I do think that with the bubble this year, like you see a 10 seed, you see a first four with the 10 seeds. That's never happened before. That shows that like the first four out or the first four into the tournament are on the 10 line. That's never happened. That's how big the bubble was. And these Big East teams, their strength of schedule out of conference was dog shit. Like they didn't have the luxury
Besides
of
UConn, yeah.
yeah, and no, UConn's even. I don't think someone said theirs wasn't good, but
They
like
had
the Big
Kansas,
12,
they had
the
a
Big
bunch.
12s wasn't good, but like they beat up each other and like they strengthened their net. Like they found out like a hack into the system, but like the Big East didn't do themselves any favors with their strength of schedule out of conference this year.
Very true.
Seton Hall was dog shit.
Actually, Seton Hall's wasn't bad. They just lost every one of them.
Yeah, I
I'm
think it
gonna
was
look
like
at Seton Hall's real fast.
I think it was like 200 to the 200s.
Really? Because I thought it had some good, like, USC they played was a bad, just early on they were ranked USC, and they lost that one, which was bad. Iowa, yeah, it's not great. And then Baylor was pretty good, I thought.
From
that
what
was
I
Big
saw, like
East,
all three of those was like 200 plus. I could be wrong, but even like Providence played one true road game, and usually like the Big East got away with that for like years. But this year, and when the bubble's that big, like Virginia did what they had to do out of conference. They finished third in the ACC. I don't think that Virginia should be in the tournament, but like I don't think it's as crazy as people think.
No, it's not. But also, the committee also is showing that they didn't look at Ken Palm. I could tell you that.
Yeah.
They just don't. That's when people think that they do. They don't, because they're saying the Big East was the second best conference. The ACC, Seton Hall won 13 games in conference. That's a lot.
Yeah.
For the Big East. It's like the first time ever that a team that won 5 games above 500 in the conference in Big East that didn't make the tournament. But it had me thinking, who's this?
This is Virginia. Like they played Florida. They beat them in the beginning of the year. They scheduled Wisco, lost.
A&M was actually a good win that early.
Yeah.
But then they had some bad, like Notre Dame's not a great loss. It's not great.
Scroll up.
Like Memphis and Wisconsin, they got killed by.
Scroll up. Doing some math. Right now into January 6th, they're 2-2 against tournament teams. 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 4-5. 4-5 against tournament teams.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't think they should be in, but I don't think it's as crazy as people say, but I think people had better resumes, for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
think
just don't want
teams
to
are
watch
just better.
Virginia is the problem.
even like Oklahoma had a better resume.
Yeah, and it's also teams just like better.
They're
I
better.
just don't want to watch.
I don't want to watch it either, but like it's just the committee has me thinking, like, are these Big East teams that
Well,
good?
I kind of did say that from the beginning. I'm like, the conference is top heavy, and the bottom of it
Is Marquette that good?
I thought the middle was like
Yes.
not that great.
We'll
either.
see.
They're
I don't
top
know.
10.
I understand
they're
they're
just-
top
they
10,
don't
but
have a
they're
full-
telling me that they're the
They're
Big
not at
East
full
isn't
strength.
fucking-
In fairness, they're not at full strength.
Well, they are now, right?
Depends if Kolek. I mean, Kolek's still banged up. I would say he's probably gonna play. He's a tough kid, but
Yeah.
Can I? A little off topic. See, Kim Kardashian just tweeting about Hunter.
Yeah, but
Skims. I know it's not like about. I know it's probably not her, but he just did Skims. It's crazy.
yeah, I think it was like huge. Like I think they might have gotten I think they got the bag for like hundreds, and Hunter and like the top 5 players. Were,
Wasn't there a guy who averages like one
One
point a
point.
game in there?
At one point,
Yeah.
who?
the guy from UNC.
Of course.
I think he might be
Yeah.
like famous on. Is he famous on TikTok or something? It
No
might-
idea. I just know he averages 1 point a game.
Yeah, he might be famous on TikTok or something. Like, because there's no way they would have just had him in. Because everyone else was huge. Like, Jared McCain was on it, and he's got.
Oh, he's a baller.
He's all really good, but he also has millions of followers. Regardless, I can't wait for this tournament. I can't wait. We're doing a bracket for the office. You're in.
Yes.
Dukes, are you in?
Not yet.
Are you gonna be?
Yeah, I haven't even filled out a bracket yet.
You're running the show on this. You're running point on this.
I am running
How do you
points.
feel about that?
I feel great. I've done it before.
I think you've done a good job with it so far.
Yeah, I have.
Well, seems well organized.
I'm only doing one. I see you have 1,400 brackets. What's your?
Yeah, I'll get in. Figure it out.
No, you don't have this. You can.
Oh,
do it.
it's
I'm just
you know
saying.
one's different. Like who plays fast, efficiency. You just write a million different things down. Having just a one.
100%.
out.
No, I'm like genuinely.
I have one with
asking.
you have spreads on there. I
just
mean, you
do
need all
one,
the
or do
space.
you fill out a
Yeah,
bunch?
I just do the one in terms of bracket.
Gotta do one, because if you do
Yeah, it's just
two,
the one.
then you just hate yourself.
More involved in the other stuff.
Yeah,
Gambling, high level. Like I rather research it.
yeah.
I have a question for you guys regarding the first four and how you guys aren't looking forward to it as much probably as I am. Teams have made runs from the first four.
UCLA.
UCLA made a Final Four run. VCU
VCU.
made a Final Four run in 2011. We had a couple teams make Sweet 16 runs.
I also
Which team out of the four playing in the 11s and the 10s do you think can make a run?
Colorado, but
Yes, 2 pros.
I
Four,
I
maybe.
don't
I saw.
know.
Really?
I think that's what I said. Right.
I heard that
That's
stats
a team Frank and I
not as
have, so that's
true.
good.
Because I said the
You got
same
both,
thing, and
right?
someone
Yeah.
corrected me.
No.
Like it was like yes, there's like certain ones that you remember, but a lot of the play-ins lose the first game. That's what someone just they could be wrong as well, but they corrected me, and I like just shut up.
I don't think it's a guarantee that they.
Yeah, I
make
know.
a
There's
run,
like
but
a-
they're
Like
gonna
five
do that.
teams.
5 teams, so 5 teams out
I
of
made the Sweet 16.
5 years. 5 years out of like. This would be 5 years out of 12, so it's almost like a
But
little
There's
less
Yeah.
than
also
half.
two, but there's also two play. Like, it's usually one out of the play-in games,
Yeah.
right? Not like yeah.
No, but that's
So
what I'm
it's out
saying.
of
Like
2
which
teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
I think
which-
it's Colorado for sure.
12 years of teams, 24
that.
teams, 5 teams is more like 1/5.
That's the team Frank and I have. It's
You know
Colorado
what I mean?
or Boise.
or Boise State.
About half the years, but it's about 1/5 the percentage.
Who's
But in fairness, only 2 of those. Yeah, 2 of those teams, 12 years, 24.
do that?
5 of them, Sweet 16. Yeah, about 1/5 of them.
Let's go. We'll go through the bracket more. What'd you do yesterday? Because I was at Dave and Buster's.
Just initial kind of reactions in terms of who can make a run, kind of bracket thoughts as things jump out, like who's there. So we didn't really dive into the spreads. I'm actually more interested if you went through game by game with the spreads.
No, we should. That's what I'm saying. We don't
Yeah,
have to.
it's
go
more of like a
through-
high level focus, like
We should
on
only
the.
go through like a little half of them, like because we still have tomorrow.
Yeah.
before
We'll do the
game.
Thursday games.
We should do Thursday games. Well, let's talk about tonight's games first. Who do you like tonight so far? For the
I mean, I'm rooting for Wagner. Probably not going to bet the 16, to be honest with you. And then I'm going to bet Colorado State just because I can't watch Virginia. With
I'm
that said,
actually-
Virginia's going to win. But
I'm on Wagner plus 3.5, and
Wagner's got 7 guys. Like I think if
I love that.
you can, I think you live bet against Wagner if you see them starting to get gassed or
I'm
foul
Virginia
trouble.
plus 2.5 too.
I don't know how 7 guys stay in a game without foul trouble.
That's what I was thinking. The same thing.
I also think in this kind of tournament you're going to get tacky right away. Bright lights. Actually, who they playing?
Oh,
Wagner.
Howard.
Howard's probably awful. I'm probably going to take Howard.
What? They only have
Because I think the
7
rest.
guys.
Yeah.
What if?
7
What if?
healthy
What if
guys.
2? What if 3 guys get knocked out? I mean, it's a big if, but
But
I mean,
yeah, they're
think about it though. Like you really
banged up.
only need 7.
Bosco, you're betting against Danny Hurley and Wagner?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Damn.
They just have no help. You know what it is? They're gonna get a lot of fouls. This is when they turn it up with the fouls in the tournament.
I understand that like 7 is kind of all you need though. Like think about it. Kansas has 7. They have more just in case.
Yeah, but if you got a guy with 3 in the first half or
Right.
2 in the first half, that becomes a real issue.
I think depth is the most overrated thing in college basketball.
I think so too.
If you have a healthy 7,
But
what more do you need?
is that 7th guy good for Wagner?
7 guys from Wagner that
tournament.
were
No,
not
no,
on the
I agree-
roster. Like
I agree
they're
with
also not that good.
Bosco, I agree with that.
Well, Howard's not good either.
Granted, but at least Howard's guys were there from the start. Wagner, they're bringing these guys.
Wagner
in off
made
the
the tournament.
street.
You know, they're both in the
No.
same spot.
They beat the 1, 2, and 3 seed on the road in the tournament.
Yeah,
It might just be hot.
it might just be hot. What's this? Seth Towns?
It might just be hot.
Why does the Wagner just find a random kid and put him in a uniform?
I mean, I think they were.
Yeah, Seth Towns.
Howard's best.
His 8th year finally.
One
my
Ivy League
God.
Player of the Year.
Jesus. Yeah, it's his 8th year.
He went to college with me. Like he
He went to college with.
Went to college with me.
He was in. He was in Jason Tatum's
Yeah.
recruiting class.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball
great.
was in the tournament that year.
That's insane. Ev, how we doing?
He played in the tournament for Ohio State.
Yeah.
He was like a big when Ohio State got him, Ev. That was like a big time pickup.
Yeah, no, he was coming off being Conference Player of the Year.
Yeah. Who do you like so far tonight?
Virginia.
Me too.
I think I'm just fading the Mountain West.
What about the 16s?
I took Howard.
I have Wagner, but
I think I was trying to do some like deep stuff yesterday. I think they have some like decent matchups. Who you think Howard's gonna get gassed?
I think fucking Wagner's gonna get.
That's kind of what it was.
Gassed, they're gonna
Howard's
get
Howard's
foul
way
trouble.
better 3-point shooting. That Wagner has no size. They're
Gas thing
bad
doesn't
on
make sense
defense.
to me, though.
What?
7 guys is what normal rotation is.
Yeah, but that's when you have.
Oh, I thought he meant
guys who are
gassed. I
designed
thought he
to
said
play
gassed. No,
basketball.
I don't.
No, I think they're gonna get gassed.
But they
and they're gonna get screwed with fouls.
But they had 7 guys through the whole tournament. They just won. No.
I understand that. I think they blow the whistle a little bit tighter in the play-ins. I could see some guys getting in foul trouble. We've heard about this. This is when refs get fine-tuned. They get exposed. You've seen it. There's a reason they say it's a 4-minute war. 4-minute war. 4-minute war. Each one.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know. I just think I don't have a good feeling about Wagner. I'll be rooting for him. I don't have a good.
I
feeling.
like Howard more just matchup-wise. They shoot the 3 like very well percentage-wise. There's a lot. I think there's a lot to like just in the matchup for Howard.
Oh my God, can we bet Wagner?
Not until you go to Jersey.
That's why I bet it this
didn't
morning
do it
before
this
I left.
morning. Fuck.
That's why I took Howard before I left.
I have to take the train.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take the train.
Look at this. Do you see guys? I don't know if you guys are like. I know it's a lot of words, but it's like Wagner offense ranked 334 in the country. Howard defense ranked 334 in the country.
Yup.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Evan. Then you said
horrible.
Howard does have the 19th best 3-point percentage, but it also looks like Wagner is ranked 10th in 3-point defense.
What's
But-
the
Run-
what's the spread on this game?
Three and a half.
Okay.
Wagner runs zone. I was seeing a lot of zone.
So you could shoot them out of it.
Let me just tell you, they both suck, and we're gonna.
Well, they're 2 like bottom conferences.
Yeah, they suck, and then we're gonna watch the shit out of it.
Yeah, but we also said this about Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairly ridiculous.
Fairleigh Dickinson being the 16 that pulled the upset to me is still the most remarkable. I know that's not going out on a limb, but the NEC is historically bad.
Yeah.
NEC is always a 16, always. The NEC is one of the worst. It's equivalent. It's just above the HBCUs. NEC is horrible.
that's a MEAC is too. Like they're
yeah,
always
that's what I'm
16.
saying. The fact that a MEAC pulling the upset would have been the most remarkable, but the NEC was just right there. It's that bad of a conference. They're always in the play. The 16s are almost always in the play-in. It's crazy that they did it. Do you think it was an advantage that the first round was in Dayton? Because where are these guys getting shipped to? They're not playing probably Indy, but they're not playing in Dayton. I think it might have been like a perfect storm. Again, it was a collapse by Purdue, and FDU played their asses off, so it's a 1 in a million. But the fact that they went from Dayton to the play-in game at Dayton, or the first round game at Dayton, definitely helps, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you go from Dayton to where are they shipping you, and you're going somewhere else.
You're saying
Your
just-
first round.
you're saying
Yes,
just
their
going
first
right
round
into
game
first
is
round?
their first round game is not always in Dayton. Because think about it, by that rationale, the first round sites would always include Dayton. That's just not the fact.
Well, last year was in Columbus. Remember, we were there.
It was Columbus.
That's where we were for the. And
All right,
remember we
I
went to the game?
apologize. I knew it was close by. How far is Dayton to Columbus?
Oh, like an hour. No, I was just saying.
Yeah,
we
all
were
right.
there-
So
we
there
were
you go.
there.
So
No, because that was how
they're
Dave-
not always that close. So
I'm saying,
where is?
remember that was how Dave got all hyped. up
Agreed.
about it, so
Agreed.
We like
I
saw them
that's,
play.
That's what made me think the game was actually in Dayton in the first round
Oh, yeah, Columbus.
against Purdue. That's what made me think. All right, so an hour. So where is Indy an hour from Dayton? Where is Virginia being shipped to?
Indy
Where
is
is
pretty
Texas?
damn close to.
What are you getting at here?
What I'm getting at is if
We're
you
in a lot
win,
of-
if you win tonight, you can get shipped to any other first round site.
No. Rico, I'm pretty sure that they geographically do it. So you're either going to Indy, you're going to
All right.
It's our
Columbus.
site.
All right.
They're not going to send you to
So
Spokane.
how far is Indy?
Hour.
All right.
Hour and a half.
So then I guess it's the same. Definitely helps.
Thank God we went through all that, so
Yeah,
everything's
definitely
an
helped.
hour away for Rico. You love this nonsense. Let's start going up through. We're gonna go through just Thursday spreads today, and then Friday tomorrow. First game of the tournament, great game, 8-9, Michigan State -1 against Mississippi State. This is just for me, Michigan State.
January, February, Izzo.
And he sucks
That's
as a
it.
coach, but I think that Mississippi State, lose. There you go,
Less than
Rico.
2 hours.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
I'm going Michigan State -1. I just think that that's just what happens. They'll lose in the second round of who's their one?
Purdue.
No.
No. Oh,
North Carolina, I think.
yeah, North Carolina, I think. So just like a classic, like those two big name schools playing each other. What do you guys like?
I mean, this is what Izzo does, though. It's not like you always say, oh, he's only made whatever. What is it? One or a couple Final Fours or whatever.
He's only won one
title.
championship in 24.
But his like greatness, like I said, March is not even making the runs. It's taking a middle of the road team like this and winning like a game or two.
But this is the problem
what he,
when
like,
people say
always
that,
does.
though. It's a problem when people say that to me. Middle of the road teams. This team was ranked top 10 in the beginning of the year, and he just makes them mid because he sucks. You know what I mean? Like that's
or were they just overrated?
No, I think that he just has talent, and they just don't play well, and then they get a little hot in
I
March.
Oh,
think they were overrated.
So he
But
overachieves.
But like I still think if they think you're a top 10 team, right? And what they have 19 wins this year, 18 wins.
19, I think. 19, I think.
I just think that but then he gets the credit for taking them far in the tournament.
I'm with you, Marty. Can I say what I said yesterday? I think you're going to be right on par with me.
Yeah.
It's legitimately this. He comes in with a mid team, and then he'll rattle off a win against Mississippi State, and then upset UNC, which you could even make the argument maybe is a good matchup for Michigan State.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, you're like, he wins 2 games in one weekend, and you're like, Tom fucking Izzo,
Yes.
baby, did it again.
Yes. And it
King of March.
infuriates me because it's like you're still also like you're Michigan State who's been around for so long. Like you should be having good teams. And he took a mid team. I fucking not you saying that. I'm just saying it's everyone says it. And I can't stand it.
But it's true.
It's not true.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the Sweet 16, that's like based. I mean, that's that's better than if they had just like been ranked top 10 all year and then like lost in the second round.
I just think that
Is it not?
But he just gets more credit than he should. Like this team is good.
Like last
But
year.
apparently they're not. They're like
Because he's a bad coach.
I mean, he's not a bad like.
He's not a bad coach, obviously. You know what I'm doing that, but he's just a coach that gets a lot more recognition for it. He hasn't done much.
Last year, he was a 7-10, beat USC, then beat Marquette in the round of 32. And then they had a close game with Kansas State. So our whole perception was like, this team,
lost in OT.
we're like, this team is like going to be top 10 next year. But really, they were on the 8-9 game.
It's
not
brought
that big of a
everyone
difference.
back, too.
Yeah, it's not that big of a difference.
No. All right.
I already bet it. I like Michigan State. It's locked in already for me.
Well, yeah, I like them too. Next game, I love BYU minus 9.5 against Duquesne. I think BYU has a actual pretty good draw in this tournament. I think BYU is really fucking good, and I think people are gonna sleep on them a little bit. And I'm going BYU minus 9.5.
I'm torn because I love like the battle tested Big 12 teams, but Duquesne has been just incredibly hot. And it's because even Duke, we talk about it's not even going back like they've obviously made a hell of a run to win the A10, but they literally lost one game since
Valentine's
Day. Yeah, like they've lost one game in a month. Like I think they're legit.
9.5 is not a small number either.
It's not small,
No,
and
that's-
I think
that's
I'm
much
pretty sure
better
it
than Big
opened.
12 is.
I think it opened shorter than that. Like
The
it's
Big 12 is way better than the A10. You know.
But I like the way I like BYU's team, like because they got shooters, they got a big man. They got a couple of big men actually that I
I
like.
think I like the over.
I'm torn. I'm very torn on this.
142.
Yeah, I'd probably. Duquesne's been in some weird like. I'll say I lean BYU. I'm not like super.
So how many games in a row is that, Dukes? Like that's also
I'm very torn in this game because BYU kicks the shit out of teams that are inferior to them, but Duquesne has a magical feeling to them. Their defense is good. I think that they're playing good ball. They have 2 guards that could take over games, Day Grant and Jimmy Clark, that I think are exceptional guards. BYU also goes on, like, they let up a lot of runs. They give up a lot of runs. I saw this one stat I'm trying to pull up for you guys right now. It's about BYU's three-point shooting, but I'll just read it. BYU is 18-3 when they make more than 10 threes, and 5-7 when they don't make 10 threes.
10 threes, a lot of threes.
They shoot a lot though.
Duquesne has only allowed teams
think
to
about what
make
they said. They
Yeah, I mean they're higher. They're about 50% 3-point rate, which
That's
means
what
they
I'm saying,
attempt
like,
about
they-
50% of their attempts.
Duquesne hasn't allowed. Duquesne has only
Making
allowed.
10 is still a lot.
I mean, they did it in like 75% of their games.
Jeez.
Duquesne has only allowed a
He's
team.
18-3 as
Yeah,
opposed to
21
like
games.
5-7, 12 and
Yeah.
21 and 12.
And
Let's
Duquesne
go.
only has allowed a team to make 10 threes once, and it was in November.
So yeah, I'll say probably BYU.
But also, yeah, that's BYU's doing 10 threes against like really good.
Yeah,
team.
the Big 12. Yeah.
I don't know. I love BYU. I have them going pretty far in this tournament. I really think they got a good draw.
I do as well because I think they'll be playing a 14 seed in the second round.
Ooh.
Will we get to that today or tomorrow?
Today.
Okay, so wait for it. Your team next, Akron Creighton.
Yeah.
Creighton's minus 12.5.
Creighton can shoot the hell out of the ball. I like seeing a 12 there. I got excited about that. Yeah, I put in case people don't know, I put a future on Creighton when the season started. So I'll win $1,000 if Creighton can win it all.
It's a lot of money.
It's a little bit, yeah. I'd like that. Make me happy.
This is just an over game for me.
Over.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Well, I've been betting this fucking Akron team with overs, and it hasn't come through.
It's 141.5 is the line.
Yeah, I'm going over.
They want to run, though. I like their pace. They want to run. Creighton, I feel like, is going to try and leave no doubt, and they'll just keep smashing it.
All right.
The over.
Next one, whatever. Long Beach State, Arizona. Just gonna. It's 20.5 spread. If you lose to Long Beach State, God bless you.
Although Long Beach State has Dan Monson, who's going to lose his job regardless, but he made the tournament, if you could believe that. But Dan Monson
hear
was the
about
guy.
What's that?
Long Beach State, they
That's
parted
another one,
ways
too.
They parted ways with their coach before the conference tournament. But he coached the conference tournament and won it.
So is he going to be?
He's still coaching the team.
But he's a dead man
Gone.
walking.
Yeah,
But
no, he's already
won-
out. They've already agreed to
won his
part ways.
conference in the NCAA tournament, and he's just not the coach anymore.
It's very weird.
Yeah, they've already agreed to
Crazy.
part ways.
Wouldn't
There's
you
another
just
Easter egg
wait?
here, too.
Wouldn't you just wait until?
If I was him, I would have crazy press conferences.
Yeah.
I just like motherfuck everyone.
I guess
I would
he's
do
right.
crazy shit.
But he's also
mean, he only-
Well, I
It's
mean,
only
he
his second.
needs another job.
coaching for his job right now. He's coaching.
Have some fun though. Go wild. Go nuts.
Yeah, just throw your whole career away. Someone wants to have some fun.
I always root for
That
chaos.
was his last job.
I guess I wish he was like a really old guy. Like I'd love to see
Yeah, he's
someone in
not,
their
like,
last
retired.
job and just be like, fuck the world, do crazy stuff,
Yeah, the
go to press conferences shirtless, just go
Easter egg
crazy.
here is that he was the guy who started the Gonzaga run in '99, and Tommy Lloyd was obviously a Gonzaga assistant for a long period of time. Now I don't know if these two overlapped, but this is the Gonzaga Bowl, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Both guys with heavy Gonzaga ties.
I saw some people pick Long Beach State over Arizona in this, but I also saw Arizona hasn't lost back-to-back games in 3 years under Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, they haven't. And Arizona is like they just.
Also, we really think Arizona's going to lose to a 15 back-to-back years?
No.
The spread's 20.5.
Also,
I mean, last year it was 20 if they lost.
Oh no.
Marty, one thing to just note for people out there in the Duquesne game I forgot to mention is their coach just retired yesterday, and he's to take care of his wife who has breast cancer.
Yeah, Dukes is convinced Duquesne's going to win.
Convinced.
I'm sorry for her and the family, but I just don't.
And
could already see him
also
crying.
another Easter egg in that story, LeBron's best friend's going to be the head coach. Because that was his high school coach.
Also, Duquesne just beat Dayton.
Ah.
Just one of that.
Okay.
I mean, they're the hottest
that
team in the
nugget
A10.
was not.
That's important. That's important.
That's I don't think it's
Noting.
That, I don't think it's that important. I mean, I
a
backed
little
up.
important.
Not really.
Well, anyone
In your brain.
in your brain, yeah. Anyone else, I'd be like, all right, yeah, but because
I'm betting NC State. Why do you think I'm betting NC State? They're hot. They just beat us.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think Duquesne's also just been hot for like 2 months, not like 1 week.
In a conference that isn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, it's comparable to like the ACC.
Well, no. We have 5 teams in.
We have 2.
I gotta give Duke is taking a stand though, so he's
Oh,
he's,
he-
hey,
I like
he's
it.
gonna come in on
We're gonna win.
Friday and be able to back up his words.
So they already have. Oh, whoa. They already have North Carolina playing Howard. I might change my bet.
We're on the Bisons.
North Carolina would be minus 24.5 against Howard.
Those lines seem light.
The UConn one. seems
Growing up,
like
Duke was laying 34,
34.
36
Honestly,
every year.
I'm a big like those are like the one games I'll stay away from.
I've only bet the
1/16s.
ones. I just bet the ones.
I just like don't touch those games usually, like the 1/16s. Those are if we got to sit out one, that'll be the one I'll sit out.
Stetson's defense is horrible. UConn's going to name their number.
26.5.
I think you.
spread right now.
What is UConn's team total?
I can-
So I only get
gotta be
13 in the
like-
first half for UConn. Dude, I think they might be up 13 in the first medium.
16.5 is
I was gonna say
is
it's
the
not-
first half
it's not gonna-
total.
yeah,
It's
I was
16
16 and a
16.5. I'm sorry, is the line. I'm trying to find the
Wait, 16.5 first half?
Yeah. UConn team total points is 85.5.
They're never going to give
Over.
it like half.
Over.
Yeah, I know. I like
Over. 85.5?
Mhm.
Over.
it. Next game is a game that people a team that people kind of gravitate towards during this one, the higher seed. Morehead State is plus 11.5 against Illinois. I think Illinois is so fucking good.
Yeah, they're very good, but it's a
They're also they haven't gotten out of the first weekend in how long?
while.
Dukes, how long has Illinois not gotten out of the first weekend?
Oof, I don't think they've done it under Underwood.
It's been a long time. They've been a high seed a lot too. Like they lost with Io, they lost with Kofi like every time too. Like what was it, Loyola Chicago? They lost when they were 1 seed.
Yeah. That was when we were in Chicago too.
Yeah, that was crazy. But
I took Morehead already with I got 12.5, but I took Morehead already.
11.5 now.
I like Morehead. I don't
me
think
tell
they'll
you why.
win, but I like 11.5.
It's a varying tempo game. Illinois wants to get out and run. Morehead wants to slow it down. Illinois plays absolutely no defense. Morehead is pretty good in terms of forcing tougher shots. I think Illinois is going to walk in thinking they're going to get whatever they want, and they'll be surprised. Morehead's got a kid, Riley Minix, who could step out and shoot it. They want to take a ton of threes. They don't necessarily make a ton. They don't shoot at an elite percentage as much as I would like, but they're going to take a ton, and that can keep you in a game. Good coach. Spradlin's been to the tournament now at least once. This will be his second. I like Morehead to stay within the number. I like Morehead to be a flirt with an upset. For sure. I said it the night I watched their championship game. I'm like, this is the team. I predicted what line they'd be on. They'd be a 14. I wish they got a different 3. But Illinois is the perfect matchup for them because they can't turn it over. They want to play fast. They're going to slow it down. I actually think Baylor would have been a little bit better of a move.
I just think that a lot of people.
I like Morehead a lot here, plus the points.
Just seen Illinois win the Big Ten, and it's like they're fucking really, and they're just a really good.
Big Ten's
team.
not as good as people think.
No, it's not. But
I don't think people think it's good.
Yeah, I don't think people think it's good.
I think they always think the Big Ten is better than it is.
I just go like Morehead State plus 11.5 as well. You like anything,
I
Clement?
also like the
I'm focused on baseball right now, so at the end of the show, I'll get my baseball picks.
kind of like the under on that.
Spent about an hour and a half last night researching stuff. I'm super amped.
All right. Next game, Oregon, South Carolina, Oregon.
Yeah,
Quack.
Ducks. Ducks.
Look at my hat, Oregon. That is exactly what we're going. +1 against South Carolina. I've been against South Carolina.
I see Oregon
All-
minus 1.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say it flipped.
Flipped.
Well, it's plus, unless I'm crazy.
Flipped. All right, so
I
it's
go back to +1. I know it did. It
Yeah.
did flip at one point.
+1 Oregon, and I love Oregon +1. +1. This team is what a comeback just to win the Pac-12, and South Carolina is just a perfect team. What is it, 7-10?
yeah.
6-11.
6-11?
Wow, 6.
I love Oregon. I love Oregon so much.
Is that do you think that Oregon's too chalky?
Maybe.
Possibly.
That's like my pick. You know, I feel like this comes out every year where there's one team that's underseeded where like
That
they're
everybody picks.
Well, there's one
everybody-
underseeded one that everyone's
But I also
picking
feel like
already
everybody
is
picks-
McNeese.
That's the one I don't think's going to come through.
I don't
I'm
think
fading
it is.
that.
I'm fading that too, but I think I'll.
But last year
that's
was
a big chalky.
Furman. Everybody picked Furman against Virginia and it come through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think honestly,
But I also feel like everybody picked
Everyone picked what's the name of
listen.
Duke last year?
Everyone loves the
that one. Yeah.
Everyone loves the 10s, 11s, 12s.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they pull out upsets, and you look at like those lines this year, they're all like small
Razor
spreads.
thin.
Oregon has 11.
7-10s
isn't
are
a
like
normal
pick'ems, basically.
11.
Yeah.
You know, like Oregon's not a normal 11.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of razor thin lines. I mean, Drake is minus 1.5. Here, it's the 7-10s right here on this side of the bracket. It's Drake minus 1.5. It's Nevada minus 1.5. So that's both 10s. Is there another 10 in action? No. The other 10s are Friday, so you can get those lines. But yeah, it's razor thin. And then the 6-11 that's out there is BYU is minus the 9.5, but Texas Tech's only 5.5.
Are you talking to the mic?
Yeah, and then you got South Carolina minus the 1. So they're all razor thin in terms of the 10s, 11s.
Before we get into this next game, because this next game ties right into this, Dave & Buster's is the best place to watch basketball this March. Let me tell you something before I read this ad. I was there yesterday at 10 a.m.
Act.
Awesome. field trips. There's just the game noises is really in, and you just play. I was playing dodgeball. There's a baseball thing where you throw as hard as you can.
Oh yeah, no.
There's also accuracy. It's accuracy as well, which is awesome. There's a basketball game.
The basketball Connect 4. Tommy and I play that every time we go. It is a blast. I love that so much.
Dave & Buster's is not just like a kid's place, and that's why I want people to know that, because I'm 29 years old, was there playing games, and this is also, there's games going to be on, awesome TVs there. Like, they have, like, it's sportsbook-esque TVs over there. Like, also on March 21st, Dave & Buster's will have an all-day $5 happy hour to celebrate the first full day of games at participating location only. All day, $5?
It's huge.
It's ridiculous. 86% of American employees will spend at least some time at work keeping track of March basketball, which is a funny number. Stop pretending to work. Watch the games at Dave & Buster's. Like I just said, March 21st, Dave & Buster's will have an all-day $5 happy hour to celebrate the first full day of games at participating locations only. Stop pretending to work. Come to Dave & Buster's on March 21st for all-day $5 happy hour and all-day basketball at participating locations.
Our Dave & Buster's love is real. So we had a tungsten meeting at Dave & Buster's a couple months ago. That shows you how much we genuinely loved it and have a blast there. We chose to go there on our own time and had a blast. We had so much fun. We were there for hours.
Yeah, no,
And
Tommy.
then you mix in a $5 happy hour?
Yeah, Tommy
all
showed
day?
me the room you guys had.
Yes.
But this also ties into the next game, because if Dukes puts the camera on me real quick, you look at this right here, and me and Dana have the Wolf Pack in Nevada. Do they do that? Do they do that too? They have to, right?
They won't on Thursday.
They will. So I have me and Dana, all of us did a Bracket Busters yesterday. And shout out Dave & Buster's for having us yesterday to pick our team. We got around we got the fifth pick, and Dana and I picked Nevada. And the tournament is if your team goes the furthest, or if it's like a tie.
Yeah. You all take say for example, there was like 3 teams that made the Sweet 16, and then they all lost. You take the team that beat you and go forward.
Right.
And the last team left, that team gets all the money.
Yes. So,
but it doesn't really matter because I have Texas A&M, and that's who's gonna win it. So
sure.
See about that.
So we're
talking up Colorado the whole beginning of the show. Guess who Frank and I have?
Colorado. Yeah, I mean, I like Colorado, but
I'm just saying.
Got New Mexico.
I mean, my team's -1.5 to start, and they're going to take down Dukes' team, which is nice. You know, it'll be nice.
My team opened as a 3-point dog and flipped like a pick 'em and like that.
Speaking
the Sharps, A&M.
I think that's a 10. That's a 10 seed that I think everyone's picking.
Nevada.
That's that when we're talking about that. Yeah, I think I don't really see that many people on Dayton for good reason, but I personally like that. I like the matchup. I think that Nevada plays small ball, and I think that we can expose them.
All right. Well, we'll see on 4:30 on
It's who I wanted.
Thursday.
It is who I wanted.
That's who you wanted.
I wanted them or Colorado State. So
You'd much rather Colorado State.
I got what I asked for.
You would rather Colorado State though.
Yeah, I don't see that big of a difference. I think Nevada's just playing better ball.
All right. Next game, they already have Virginia in right now, so I love that for our bets tonight. If that did happen, it would be +5, Virginia, Texas.
Contrasting
I love
styles
Virginia
for sure.
I think Texas will be tripped up completely.
If Virginia wins, I definitely would like them in that matchup.
Mm-hmm. Rico?
Virginia against who?
Texas.
Oh, no, I think it's going to be Colorado State.
Both lines are available. So the Virginia is +5. Colorado State would be +3.5.
Yeah.
It makes sense. They're 3-point favorites.
I don't know. I need to see Colorado State tonight because I agree with Ev. There's a point of me. I love all these Mountain West teams. There's a point of me of being like, what are you, a fucking idiot?
It just feels like everyone falls for it every year.
That might have been the tipping point last year of San Diego State breaking through.
But it
might be the tipping point of these teams being ranked this year. Like
they've been the one outlier for this in this conference for like a decade.
I know. Maybe it's a little bit of a roll. Just one had a breakthrough, and the rest now start a little bit of like 2 to the second round, 3 to the then 1 to the Sweet 16. Like that would be progress. Because there's also the handicap of these conferences, or the ceiling for this conference. Like let's face it, Nevada's a 10. They probably shouldn't get to the second round. New Mexico's an 11. They probably shouldn't get to the second round. Utah State's an 8. They're a coin flip to get to the second round. You get what I'm saying? I'm not looking to make excuses or carry the water. But
they all are like close spreads, like in the first game.
But a conference that has a conference that has 6 teams in, and 4 or 5 of them are heavy dog seeds in that sense of like significant upsets. You can't say that the conference should have 3 teams in the Sweet 16 every single year. You get what I'm saying?
Not every year, but the way they've been gassed up, they
agree. Like Colorado
betting
State,
odds, they
Colorado
should
State
this
has
year
to play in. They're a 10. They might not even get in. Like,
and they're favorites in that game, so they're like supposed to win.
They're supposed to win that one, but then they're probably not going to be in the first round. So I think the Mountain West is probably only expected to get 2 teams in the second round anyway.
Well, I mean, they're favored in. I guess they'll be favored in 1.
Just going by the seeds.
2,
I mean,
3.
San Diego State's probably the only lock. Who else am I missing?
Well, I mean, you said like Nevada's a favorite. New Mexico, what is it? Or like
Nevada's a small favorite.
New Mexico is 2, I think, or they're like a pick 'em.
I'm waiting to see New Mexico's line. Yeah, New Mexico minus 2.5.
So I mean, they got 3 teams that they're claiming
right.
are like gonna get past,
Right.
get through.
But by the seeds, yeah, you're right.
And then the other ones are like short. Like they say they'll only be 3.5 points of Texas if they won tonight. Who knows if they're really good, that number could get even lower.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Moving on, I think Kentucky has a pretty good path. I think they'll actually.
Maybe get out of the first round.
Duke's side. I think they
are on Duke's. They're in.
Yeah, I think they'll play. I have them playing Duke. I think they'll actually get there. But Oakland, Kentucky. I like Kentucky to win, but I'm taking Oakland plus 13.5 here. Oakland's actually a scrappy team. What do you guys feel?
I already laid it with Kentucky. I think they roll.
You're going to try and
I think
get
just too. I think just too talented.
I mean, listen, Alabama's one of the best up and down teams in the country. They got in a track meet with Kentucky, and we saw the results. Oakland's going to try and get in a track meet with this team?
I just think it's,
I don't think Oakland's going to try to get in a track meet.
Yeah, I don't think
shouldn't.
so.
They play at a fast pace.
I'm fairly certain they play at a slow pace.
Pull it up.
Oh, no.
What do they play at?
Somebody's going to drop a hammer.
I don't like this direction at all.
And someone's going to clip that and then
They play in the top third of the country?
Yeah, I'm going to guess
232nd in pace.
Do they really?
Oh, no.
That's on me.
Oh, come on.
No.
I feel like I'm on a car just going off a cliff.
No one,
Up and up.
No one clipped that.
No one clip it.
Oh, no.
God, 200. It wasn't even like
They really
90.
slowed it down. They slowed it down, huh?
No, they completely
In
stopped.
the bottom third or bottom half.
Wow.
For sure.
What are their games, though? How have they done against the big teams? Like Xavier, Michigan State, Dayton. Let me see those.
So they beat Xavier
Yeah, I mean,
early in the hour. They beat Xavier. I mean, good for them.
a lot of points in these games, though.
Yeah, they shoot the shit. The thing is, like, they're a 3-point shooting
Yeah,
team.
100. So, all right, scroll. They could.
Well, the number's the number.
The number is the number. Agreed. The number is the number. But scroll through. I'm seeing a lot of points.
They played some good
that
teams
doesn't mean
close.
anything, though.
Yeah.
With pace. Like, Dayton plays at a snail's pace.
They
but
actually
we've
don't
scored
have a lot
100.
of points. You're just looking at the 100. Like 60 to 50, 65 to 50.
88, 86, 91, 8. That was in
Double
2 overtimes.
overtime.
87, 72.
Second Duke.
Throughout the tournament, that
Doesn't matter. The
Throughout the
number's the
enti-
number.
Fair enough. Throughout the entire tournament. Go back to that. Because I watched them because I had Milwaukee. Those are high-scoring games throughout that whole tournament.
What's the total in the game?
I don't think that matters, though, with pace.
It's
Okay.
163.
All right, so then if I was wrong about
That's
the pace, they can
half.
definitely
That's obviously
They-
we can
they're
tell.
looking to score. They're looking to score.
They could shoot the shit out of the ball, which
Right.
is, like, I think against Kentucky, like,
163.
if they slow the game down and Kentucky's defense isn't that good, that is a 14 seed that I'm looking at.
Okay.
So I'm taking
I'm-
the spread.
I'm
taking the
probably not
spread
going to
over.
pick them to beat Kentucky, but I would not be shocked if that 14 seed wins.
So they play at a slower pace, but they're looking to score. And they shoot. Go to their three-point rate. Slide over. Left.
Oh, you can't see it.
3-point A. Yeah, 40. Top 100 in that as well. They're taking a ton of threes. And they shoot it pretty well, 35%. So we'll see.
All right, let's move past that. Let's go. So this is what I was talking about before. Everyone, this is like the sexy pick. McNeese plus 6 against Gonzaga. I'm on Gonzaga minus 6. I think Gonzaga's actually. I don't think they're going to win the national championship, but I do think that they're.
They can flirt with it.
Really?
I mean, I think they can get to the second weekend. I really do.
Well, yes.
And then from there, you're getting.
They need to make
You're
the
telling
third
me you're
one.
going to get Purdue? Like, I'm okay with that.
Maybe.
What? Maybe. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I don't think
I
they
like
will, but
Gonzaga's. I like Gonzaga's draw.
I like -6 Gonzaga. Ev, what do you like?
I'd say not super. I guess I would lean Gonzaga. I didn't play anything in it. Not super like opinionated. I agree. I mean, McNeese definitely is this kind of like the sexy underdog. But I mean, it's again like the 12s always are. The 12s especially. It feels like the 2 win like every year. They were the number 1 pick in bracket busters.
McNeese was?
Yeah, McNeese was
Yeah.
literally number 1 overall.
I took New Mexico second.
But yeah, I would
Mexico
lean
was
Gonzaga,
my
but
number 1. So
I'll lean Gonzaga, but don't hold me to that because I could end up tomorrow on McNeese. I'm not sure, but
It's also like I feel like Gonzaga people just assume that they're down.
yeah, because they didn't win the
Right, but
their
they
conference.
did end the year pretty goddamn strong.
Very good.
And they didn't really have any bad losses when you really look back.
They just lost.
They just lost.
Which they usually don't.
But
lose.
I don't think that they'll lose to like a McNeese.
But
You know what I'm saying?
They usually just don't lose in conference.
Right.
So it's like
I think they have a
that's
high.
weird.
I think they have a high floor, and I
They
don't
just
think
have
they're gonna lose.
had way better teams and haven't won. So now it's like they're like, oh, they're down now. So I like that's what I'm saying. I agree with you, Dukes. South Dakota State, Iowa State -16.5. This is a game I'll probably stay away from, but I would just take Iowa State probably. I don't fucking know. They're hot right now.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. It's one. I don't feel great about South Dakota State. Iowa State can squish you a little bit, and I do think I'll probably take Iowa State.
I liked what I saw out of South Dakota State in that famous game, obviously, but I liked what I saw out of
You
South
liked
Dakota
what-
State. Iowa State's a little
So-
different though.
It also
Different
let
animal.
me tell you that the fact that you fell asleep during that game was telling.
Yeah, it's a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tip. In fairness,
I'm kidding. St. Peter's, Tennessee.
What's
21.5. It's just like those ones. I don't care what you say. You really don't know. I'm probably gonna go St. Peter's.
like
21.5.
Tennessee is a team that can like squish you. Like they play defense and they actually can score this year a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee and Houston are 2 teams in the first round that I just think squish teams. Like I don't believe in Tennessee later in the tournament,
Yeah.
but the first weekend they'll beat a team by 40.
Yeah, I could see that 100%. The next 3 games, though, because I want to get to Clemmer's picks for baseball. The next 3 games I actually like are good games. North Carolina State, Texas Tech, +5.5 North Carolina State. So this is where it gets hairy for me. I don't love Texas Tech.
I don't either.
I don't love them, but North Carolina State just won 5 games in 5 days. Everyone knows about Burns. I think they're going to win.
The NC
oh,
State's
NC
gonna
State. Yeah, nah, I disagree.
I think they could
Texas
win.
Tech's efficiencies, they've been in this fucking war of a league in the Big 12. ACC's weak.
They just beat Duke
I don't love
and
it.
UNC. Like, those are – you can't say they're weak when they just beat – I know they're weak, but
Still a weak league.
is it that – they have 5 teams. We have to, like –
Yeah, I think Virginia's bad, and I think Clemson's bad.
bad?
I do. I think Clemson's bad.
Also, with some of these, I also think about this too. With the and I'll give because I heard
And
somebody,
they have 4 teams in until tonight. You can only say that, too. They did not get 5 teams in until
got-
they're getting
nah,
to
they
the
got
round
five.
of
They got
64.
five. They got 5
Because
teams.
Seton Hall's not in. So, and, like, no one for the Big East teams aren't in. Like,
Virginia's
those
not
teams
in
are
if they lose tonight.
I
they're
mean,
in.
it's the field of 68.
If you have a chance to
You
be
guys are
in-
crazy.
We're
No?
crazy for what? I mean, what do we?
They got 5 teams into the 68. How many did they really get into the 64? That's where I'm at. It's the same with the Mountain West.
Oh, okay. No matter what, though,
They're in.
they're in. Like, we're talking about them right now because they play.
Right. But we might only be talking about them today.
I mean, you could say that about every team in it.
I love that.
We might only talk about them for one day.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right. So if you lose,
They got invited to the party. They didn't really make
so if you
the
don't
party.
if you don't make it to the round of 32, you really didn't
No, not true.
tournament.
Not true. If you get into the field of 64, you're in the 64.
But we only had talked
Playing,
about for
you
one
got to
day.
win your playing game to get in. Right now, I consider Virginia as a maybe to get into this tournament.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I just don't like when people say like the ACC sucks. Where it's like they don't suck. They're just not. They're not a top. So if you or would you say the Big East?
But
is
it's not, the ACC has not been good for a while now.
You keep saying that they were in the two of the teams were in the Final Four 2 years ago.
That means
I wa-
those
I-
teams
I
were
was gonna
good. It
say
doesn't
that
mean the
we-
league was good.
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. When there's 2 teams in the Final Four, they're both in the league. That means that they're a good league.
I disagree.
Why? That makes no sense.
I think those two teams are good. I think the league is bad.
They're in the league.
All right, so then when Houston was making Elite Eights and Final Fours, what did you think of the AAC?
That's the AAC's not a Power 5 conference. That's not. And
Prove it.
we're saying no.
You're
I'm not
saying the
I'm
league was
proving-
bad, the team was good.
No, that's
saying.
only one team. I've just said 2 teams were in the Final Four.
You guys are like the Mountain West.
We're not the Mountain West. It's just like you're like the Big East. Everyone's jerking them off. They have 3 teams in. I don't like when we say that the ACC is bad. Just because ACC was #1 conference for like 20 years in a row, and then now it's slowing down. Sure. And then you go on your phone. This is what's crazy.
Well,
It's on your phone
I looked
while
at the time. I need a
we're
pick.
arguing, and
I was looking to see if I wanted to go ice hunting tonight in terms of a pick.
He's checking the weather app.
No, I wanted a
Keno.
pick. I did want a hockey pick tonight, but I'm not going to.
You needed it right this second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'd stand by it, though. I do think the team can be good, the league can be bad, and you just won't back down from it. So,
No, it's not back down. And 2 teams in the conference get to a Final Four. Then
so did
next
Houston.
Year,
Houston is
the
one.
next 2 teams from this conference get there from the Final Four. Then the next year, another team from the ACC gets in the Final Four. When does it stop?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be. I see both sides. Also, it can be very draw based.
No, it definitely is draw based, but you have to at least acknowledge it when it happens.
Duke and UNC are good programs. I'll admit that.
That's a fact.
Strong.
Do I think the rest of the ACC has hurt themselves over the past couple of years? For sure.
I mean, Miami this year really fucked themselves after what they did last year, but we'll get past that. Samford, Kansas. I'm obviously biased, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Samford.
But I'm going Kansas.
Buckyball, they got a kid, a core who can play for Samford.
Kansas plays no D. The only thing I know they run the. I was talking with Duke about. They run a hard press, but Harris is a good point guard, so I feel like they have a guy that I think you should be able to trust to navigate that.
Kansas is old.
They are, no, for sure. Like I like McCullough. Like as long as he's healthy.
I like
think
Harris up a lot, but
healthy.
Harris can turn it over too.
Harris
can be spectacular or really bad.
I'm taking Sanford with the points, but
Yeah.
But I think you have to admit everyone's going to be down on Kansas this year because they've been injured for the past 3 weeks.
But it's still. But I think it'll still just be like it's Kansas.
Oh, I think some people will, but I'm saying people that watch college basketball, you're like, they did beat UConn. It was at Kansas this year, obviously, but like they have the talent still, no matter.
Oh,
what.
no doubt. No
And I
doubt.
think some people won't.
But I also think people will see too that they're just like their guys are back,
Yeah.
and they just basically sat out their 2 best players for the Big 12 tournament.
Last game, Drake, Washington State.
Love Drake.
Drizzy.
I'm going Drake -1.
I really wanted to go against Bosco and just troll and be the Kyle Smith guy, but the spot for Drake is just too good.
Also, going back to the Samford game really quick.
Game's in Omaha too, by the way.
One thing about the Samford thing, Rico might like this, is Samford is go, 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 and they shoot lights out from 3. They could get Kansas in a tough spot. Like they could take a big lead over Kansas, but it's if they could keep that lead is what will be interesting to me.
Yeah.
How does Kansas defend the 3?
I don't think well.
I'm not going
Never-
to throw a stat out there, but
I don't think well.
I don't think they did either. That's what made me bring it up.
168th.
Okay.
It's like less than middle of the road.
Kansas's health really worries me.
Well,
Yeah.
I could tell you one guy's really healthy. And the other guy is, I've heard.
Furphy?
I've heard the other guy is, like, pretty healthy. But
Bill Self.
he's healthy.
He's healthy.
is.
Last tournament he wasn't
Yes,
around last
that's
March.
big. Clemmer, let's get your you spent 2 hours on your
Yeah. I've been looking the hell at this game.
What,
So
you fight with Dave? You're wearing a Miss Peaches shirt now?
I love dogs.
Okay, just point out things.
Yeah, it's a very
Great
comfortable hoodie.
sweatshirt.
It's a great sweatshirt. Goes to help dogs. Yeah, I love dogs.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk this baseball. We got 2 games. I'm not going to be in tomorrow, so I kind of want to cover both. 6 a.m. They're playing these games in South Korea. It's Dodgers and Padres, which is wild that Shohei Ohtani's first game is going to be at 6 a.m., but baseball is going to baseball and ruin marketing. But there's a...
Oh, it's a worldwide game. It's in Korea.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Let me do this here. Helpful as always. So there's a bet I really like here, and it's Freddie Freeman to get an RBI. So you might look at the stats last year and be like, well, Freddie Freeman had 102 RBIs last year, and that's not that great. It's like, all right, it's true, but he was batting second. in front of him was Mookie Betts. Now he has Betts and Ohtani in front of him. Freddie Freeman is going to have a shitload of RBIs this year, and if you do over a half RBI, it's plus 135, so that's plus money. I really like that. Yu Darvish, I don't really trust. He had a 4.8 ERA on the road last year. He is better in domes. This game isn't a dome. If you look at this stadium, it's 325 to right and left. It's 400 to center. I think it's going to play pretty fair. It's not going to be too much offense or too little offense. So I like that a lot. The second game I want to touch on real quick, too. Joe Musgrove hasn't pitched a Major League game since July. He's looked horrible in spring training. Yamamoto has looked horrible in spring training. His pitches are the speed is there, but they're too flat. The off-speed stuff is working better, but if he relies on the fastball, he could get in trouble there. I like the over in tomorrow's game. I'm not quite set on a pick yet for a prop yet, but for the game that's going to be at 6 a.m., I already put out my trusted data pick. Freddie Freeman over a half RBI. Freddie Freeman get an RBI tomorrow, plus 135.
Do you actually put a lot of stock into spring training performances?
I do when a guy hasn't pitched since July. It's kind of I take each case-by-case basis. If a guy has been healthy last year, has like a okay spring training, fine. But if I see like ERAs 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I'm a little bit nervous. If I see control issues, I'll look at like walks to innings pitched. That tells me that something's off with this guy, and I'm concerned.
Spring training.
Spring training.
I think I'm not just saying because it's you. I think spring training means nothing.
I agree with you for the most part. There are specific I said with Joe Musgrove, the fact that he hasn't pitched since July, and he looks bad in spring training. Yeah. That's when I look at it. If, like I said, if it's a guy that makes 35 starts every year and he has an ERA of 6 in spring training, I don't care. But Musgrove's been getting hit hard.
That's fair because that's obviously this year it's not. He hasn't pitched much because he's hurt. But Garrett Cole literally is like the worst spring training pitcher of all time.
Yeah, no, that stuff I don't. Like I said, and honestly, like it's tough because first games you're like, all right, what kind of data do I have to go on here? The other thing too is Joe Musgrove's facing the fucking Dodgers, so they're gonna beat the shit out of the ball. So
it's stupid that they're doing opening day there, and then like it's a week after it starts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hate this stuff, man. I just like regular opening days. Like I said, I feel bad for Dodger fans that I'm sure would love to be at.
It seemed like a waste.
Ohtani's first game. Like, who's gonna watch this at 6 a.m.?
I feel great for the people in Korea that get to watch the Dodgers and the Padres play.
No, I think it's good for I think it's good for that, but I think that like baseball not starting for another week.
And they also
crazy.
They could have been exhibition games. They didn't need to be. Games that count.
I mean, well, what was the year the Mets opened in Japan?
A while back.
It was like I was too young for it. So
I was gonna say 04, 05. I'm probably wrong.
I know it was like the 99.
Oh, maybe you're right. Bobby Valentine was. You're right. Bobby Valentine was there, so it was 99. Yeah, 98, 99, something like that.
The Eagles next year open up in Mexico.
Brazil.
But that's at least the same time zone.
Yeah, that's not affecting anyone.
The problem is here the time zone is off.
Affecting people.
The Mets and Phillies are playing in London this year, like in the middle of the season in May.
June.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, they got to travel out there. They have 2 days off, and then you play 2 games, and you come back and travel.
Making it worldwide is definitely good.
You're right. Like the economics of baseball, everything points to everything you're saying is right. I just know as a fan, I'm a little bit annoyed. Like I'm gonna get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and like I'm in a hotel. I'm not gonna be able to watch the game. Like I don't have MLB Network. Like it's just a pain in the ass.
Clemmer, think about this. Let's say a 6-year-old in Korea is going to see the Dodgers and Padres play, and he falls in love with the game of baseball. And 20 years from now, he turns into the best player to face of the sport. That could be a good thing.
I think he would have fallen over the baseball without going to that game.
I'm gonna cry, Phil. That was beautiful.
I don't think that game would have affected his love for baseball, Phil. So.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
I think that's a big.
Anyone
Why do you say that?
Where's the game tomorrow?
South Korea.
And anyone in South
Seoul.
Korea listening right now, even though it's they can listen. Anyone listening, if your child falls in love with baseball tomorrow, please call in.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
I think it'd be nice
agree.
to
Yeah.
hear, you know?
Yeah. I mean, but everything, like Marty says, the economics of the game, though, everything's pointing to making it worldwide helps enormously. We see that in the NBA as well. So I guess it makes sense. It's just, like I said, kind of frustrating.
Also, when you have 2 players from Japan.
Japan, yeah. I mean,
But
Yamamoto and
different.
Shohei. That's not
But
Korea, though.
I know it's not Korea, but it's also like people are gonna watch. Is that the same time zone? I don't know time zones.
It's closer. It's closer. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Over 1.5 people falling in love with baseball tomorrow.
I'm gonna go over for Phil.
That's my luck.
There's gonna be a couple people that fall in love with baseball tomorrow.
Freddie Freeman getting an RBI tomorrow. I like that a lot. Plus, it's plus 135.
All right, I like
How can you
that
not
too.
be romantic about baseball?
Yeah, I thought you would be.
Oh, I am. I'm just frustrated. I'm just annoyed. I just want to.
It's Clemmer's got to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. That's
Yeah,
You
like-
wake up early all the time. This should not be an issue.
I don't
for
get
you.
up that early,
We'll
man.
let you take a nap tomorrow.
Okay. I'm doing Kirk's show. I'm gonna be taking naps. Get my head ripped off.
You always talk about how you worked in the real world and you would get up early every day. So
I did, and I didn't like this shit then either. I didn't get up at 6. I get up at 7. You know, and then I'm getting ready and I'm groggy. No, I'm not
You're
gonna
a
get up at
pussy.
6.
My train was at 5:54 every morning.
I did it for 20 years, Marty. You did it for 2 months.
I did it for 4 years.
Oh, sorry.
4 years, you old fuck.
You did it for a presidential term. I did it for a generation.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't
Okay.
get my job at 40.
No, I know it's I'm not. I'm just
Well, you don't.
not blaming you. I'm telling you how it is.
2 months, 4 years.
Yeah,
4
you,
years is a long
you,
time.
took an early train for a couple weeks. I'm sorry to hear that.
4 years.
Sad story.
4 years.
Move closer to your work, dumbass.
You too.
I didn't have to get up 5:08. I didn't catch 5:55 trains.
Well, you
I had to
really
watch
didn't.
college kids play sports till 2 a.m. and then wake up at 8:30.
yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's
Tough.
I went to bed last night
That's
at, you know.
tough.
It is tough. Your mic hasn't been on for the last 5 minutes. But
All
right.
Maybe you shouldn't get up. Maybe you shouldn't go to bed so late, huh? Get up
Shocked
earlier.
you could hear me.
All right, that's the show. Tomorrow we'll go over the Friday card.
Streaming tonight.
Streaming tonight.
I'm here. Both NCAA tournament games.
Yep. Great games. They're real
Both totals under 130. Excellent.
Teams fighting.
great games. Everyone's talking about Virginia.
Who's baby?
Colorado State, but I'll be
Virginia
taking
plus
them.
3.
Love Virginia tonight.
Colorado State.
All right, that's the show. We'll see you tomorrow.